Welcome to the Vibrant Living Network. Have you ever wondered what is possible beyond possible? What is the thing you've been wondering and inquiring about? Are you just feeling stuck and don't know why? Are you thinking or are you seeing? Seeing allows us to expand and have this other experience. We want to invite you for that wake-up call. We want to invite your spirit, your soul, so to be more alive, more connected. Glenn Brooks has been a life coach for over 33 years, author of Divorced to Patterns, Not Each Other, an explorer of what is possible. He has worked with people all around the world. Join us for a wake-up conversation, a dialogue with you, and our regular co-hosts, the money healer Stephanie J. Alvarez and Dr. Nicole Kane. We will have some of the most interesting contributors. We will be talking to some of the most interesting people and have some of the most resourceful teachers, wisdom-filled people from around the world join us. Share your voice, ask the questions, become free of the known into a new world of possibility. We are going to talk about all the things you wonder about: how to live, how to heal, how to connect, how to love, how to be seen. Your life is precious. Enjoy it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. Blessed holiday season. I'm Glenn Brooks. It's good being with you. I have so much to share with you today. We need to change our introduction because this is going to be a new ongoing series we're going to get into in a few moments called Vibrant Medicine, which is totally connected to vibrant living. So the word, or the awareness I wanted to share with you today is stabilizing. Stabilizing. So when something happens in our lives, it impacts us a certain way. We get destabilized. We get scared. We get shocked. Right? Things happen. And I was going to tell you a story because I have a few people that are very kind right now. They're reading my book, which is called Unscripted Power, The Unscripted Power. And I wanted to just share this thing about stabilizing because I was thinking about it yesterday. I wanted to explain. Yeah, let me ask you a question. Do you feel sometimes that it's hard to say things in words? Do you feel that it's hard to, maybe with family members, even friends, you're not able to say certain things because either they don't know what you mean, and you have the sense you could actually reach people much deeper. And so I had that experience. I wrote this book because I felt there was another language, a way of speaking that I sensed, but I didn't know how to relate it to a lot of people. What I sensed, why I call it unscripted power, and how it relates to stabilizing, I will get into. It kind of relates to this notion that we get taught these scripts unconsciously. It's kind of like, this is who you are, this is what you should be, this is where you're going, this is how it has to look like. And by the way, we have a lot of self-improvement and transformational scripts. We need to meditate, we need to do this, boom, 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 boom. So we have this aspect of scripting. I'm reading this book one day because I'm really curious about this. I'm really curious because we don't get a manual on this topic, right? We don't get and even people I think sometimes that kind of are in sync, they could freak out, right? People, all of a sudden you spook someone, they get all upset. So I'm reading this book. It's called Beyond Culture. Beyond Culture. It's a profound book. Because what happens is people develop cultural habits. Even people, most of us do. Before you walk in a room, people have their cultural habits, their beliefs. So I'm reading about this group of anthropologists who go to this island. And there's these basket weavers. And what they weave is so, so beautiful and profound. You know, because when you watch someone weave with their hands, this isn't a digital process. This is not a Snapchat. This is someone taking their hands and weaving these baskets. And I want you guys to catch, because as I share this with you, it's touching me. So the anthropologists were so curious about this. No school, no teaching per se in this, and yet they're weaving these baskets. So what happens is the anthropologists keep asking them, how do you do these baskets? They translate it, how do you do these baskets? And somehow the basket weavers don't answer until one day, because they keep asking. And one of the tribe members says, well, we do it like, you start to attempt to explain it. And to the degree he explained it, they all lost the ability to express it. There's something in vibrancy. There's something that happens when we go beyond normal, when we go beyond the script. That's different. That's vitalizing and opening in a way we haven't known before. When I wrote this book, Unscripted Power, I have a chapter called "They Run for the Hills." They run for the hills, and that was the chapter I felt like people would have such strong responses to me. I felt like some people just want to run away from me, and then the other people would be like, they'd come up to me and they would share secrets and stories they never told anybody else. So I just want to say, if you're listening to Vibrant Living, like each year we unfold, each moment, our nervous system is kind of readjusting. And why I mentioned stabilizing at the beginning of the show, the principle of stabilizing, rather than, so what is it to stabilize something? And I became very, in my field, I was very recognized for group coaching and working with people. And the first time I heard a course by a pretty incredible teacher. He was teaching 1,200 people. It was one of the best courses I heard. And he lost about, how many people? Probably 600 people within, 4 weeks. And I thought, why is that? Why do people run away from things? Because what happens is that we're not educated that if we receive something and we're not ready, or we haven't been educated to be ready, we destabilize, right? Our fear comes up, and so somehow, if we are educated to stabilize, we can kind of drop in and go deeper together, right? And right now, you could drop into a place in yourself, your being, that has a different way, has an inherent wisdom. So I want to invite you on this here. So stabilizing is a way of life. So I want to give you 3 things about stabilization, particularly when you're with people, right? Because a lot of the traditions we have in our culture, as we reference meditation and kind of all the self-work and work on yourself, what's missing is the relational dimension. What's missing is when our nervous system connects with someone else, it changes our nervous system. It allows us to have another sense of ground. It stabilizes us, but yet it's very new. So sometimes in that process, we want to run. We want to get away. And at the same time, our nervous system is so remarkable, it will recalibrate. It will. So for instance, even if you touch pinkies with someone, right, and you notice you're touching pinkies, your nervous system begins to respond, right? And we start to, we go from this over linear thing to we get another sense. And that's how people begin to experience, I'm not talking about sexual intimacy, but intimacy at the level where we could trust this process we have as human beings to be undefended, to touch each other, and to notice things together. That probably is the most valuable thing on the planet. How much time do they spend at school getting into that? Kind of rare. Stabilizing. I want you guys to write that down and tune into that. And also, I'm going to give away on the show, I want to, if you guys promise to read my copy of Unscripted Power, have it ready to go to the publishers. If you're interested, I'll send you a copy. I want to get, because I'm going to do a group based on this book. And the kind of, if you will, the miracle or the unique offering that, what I call relational transformation, that what's been missing up to now has really been, as an example, relational meditation. What's been up to now, this last 35 years, has been so much just about me. It has not been about us. I'd love to get your thoughts, by the way. I want to introduce you to this new series that we're doing, which to me is about stabilizing and learning how to do the things that resonate with our body. And what's kind of interesting, I just came back a little while ago from Whole Foods Market, and I realized a lot of people go there because we're all educated now that a lot of the food, whether it's GMO, whether it's it's flown in from different parts of the country. Like we all know on some level food's so relevant, and we know that supplements seem to be relevant. 15, 20 years ago, by the way, when I was on the radio, I was in syndication. You asked people if they took supplements, and it was a much smaller amount of people. The people were like, "Why would I do that?" Or, it was let's say back 20 years ago, it was maybe let's say 72%. Now it's like you ask someone about supplements, they're like, what supplements should I take? It's like 98%. So imagine a system in medicine that educates you to take the medicine, to take whether it's supplements, whether it's energy treatments, whether it's walking every day. What is it that stabilizes your system? So stabilization, I'm going to get back to that again. So stabilization allows you to drop that cortisol, that fight or flight, which most people are in 24 hours a day. They're in an emergency state. Healing, 100%, is correlated with that lowering of cortisol. So I'm honored to say this series on Vibrant Medicine will feature a new co-host, Kimchi Moyer, who is a resopath, who works with people around the world and develops protocols that allow their body, if you will, to speak. Imagine if you could speak to your body. You went into the store and said, hey, what do you need today? And your body says, I could use some potassium, but I want it in the form of a banana. And I could use this water, and it's like, I think I've had it with 7.7 alkalinity. I think I could use 8.2. And you know what? I'm really depleted on my hugs today. Let's catch up on that. And, maybe it's a good idea I get a massage, and maybe it's a good idea I sit by a fire. The most interesting thing that we've learned in the last 3 years? The president of Cisco and a whole bunch of people, they've been doing digital detoxes. The president of Cisco, she won't use her phone on the weekend. She won't use the digital devices. This program in this series is going to be all about you resonating and understanding what it is that brings you alive. And, if I could dare stretch the envelope on what is it in your relationships, including your marriage, allow you to deepen that instead of always explode it. I say to people, like, divorce is like the Big Mac of our culture. It's like, why? Why? Because it's a conditioned thing. And when you stabilize, you go deeper. And when you stabilize, you can experience states of ecstasy and bonding and all this wonder. I'm honored today to have Kimchi Moyer with us. She's a resopath. She's come up with that title 30 years ago. She works with people on what their body's speaking and how to listen. And so could you imagine right now if I said you could go to someone, you could have this, you could work through a resopath, and it's like all the thing you're investing in. I really, like me or your friends, I have a lot of friends going to different people. They don't know exactly what works, what resonates. Jennifer. I wanted to see if there's anything. I want to say, first of all, welcome to the series on Vibrant Medicine. We're going to encompass the dimensions of this other experience, including how to grow young, including how to lower your cortisol, including how to use not just your food, but the kind of remedies you may not even know exist. We're going to explore the nervous system. As an example, that some days it's much better to rest and work out. I did a series on, is your personal trainer killing you? Well, some days they are. Some days you just need to walk in the woods. Hold your beloved's hand. So Kimchi Moyer is going to be with us for this series. We'll come back to stabilizing. Jennifer, I just wanted you to co-introduce the series and Kimchi because you got me by surprise singing me happy birthday. I thought you were doing something, a new spontaneous exercise for me that I didn't know about. So thank you for the birthday song, by the way.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome. That was actually Susie that started that, so thank you, Susie, for that, because frankly, Glenn, I had completely forgotten.
I love you, Susie. Susie, you're such a sweetheart. You always show up like me and you went to elementary school, and we hit it off. We went in the playground every day. It's so kind of you. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Glenn.
You're very welcome.
I'm excited. We have Kimchi Moyer on. We also have Susie the Food Decoder on. And I'm here with you, Glenn. You keep calling me Jennifer, my street name. And
I know. Dang it. It's really hard. Listen, in my heart, my close, friendly up name to you was Jennifer. And I kind of realized, there's the professional name, Stephanie. So I flipped it today. Sorry.
No worries. Well, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to everything that we've been talking about for Vibrant Medicine and what the vision really is for the show. You, I, and Kimchi had spoken about it, and I believe what has really brought us together is our mutual vision to bring more people together so that they can experience a vibrant life and being able to impact people, sharing with them the knowledge and things that they are not aware of so that they can really take control of where they are at and they can be informed and they can use this information to help them have this life that they never really even dreamed possible. Because what I've seen is that most people will get caught up in what you would call thought viruses or belief systems, right? And so they have been sort of ingrained, or I would even go as far as to say brainwashed, to believe that when you get older, your body aches and you lose energy and you lose your libido. And I know that you're coming out with a book about that, to address that. And so, but these things aren't true. These are things that we're told. We're taught that, and we're told that as we get older, these things are going to happen, and then we accept them as truths because this is happening to everybody around us, but not really realizing that this doesn't have to be true for us. I know a woman who's 65 years old, and she has the energy of a toddler. I wouldn't even say teenager because most teenagers sleep all day, but the energy of a toddler. She's constantly going. She does high kicks. She's in yoga. You know, she's in amazing shape. You know, she's like wears bikinis. I mean, she looks amazing. She does not look her age. And I know many people like that too, but there's also this belief out there that this is it. You know, people my age, and I don't even consider myself old at all, but people my age, you know, I'm constantly hearing them, oh, well, you know, it's because of age. Oh, I'm getting older now. Oh, my back hurts. My knees hurt. And I'm just like, you're miserable. And so when we were talking with Kimchi and just hearing about all of the technology that is coming out, and I had loved and she'll come on right now. I'm going to have you come on, Kimchi, so that you can just expand on what the conversation we were having about your body talking back to you. And so can you just share a little bit about that, Kimchi, for those people that are suffering through their aches and their pains and they feel that this is it for them and that as you get older, you just sort of have to deal with these things? What would you say to those people, Kimchi?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be on this show. It is a privilege and it is an honor to be here with you, Glenn, Stephanie.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
And Susie.
Susie Dakota, who I'm going to ask to sing "Happy Birthday" again. Yeah, I'm going to ask. Yes. We're going to go to a brief pause. Yes, Susie, I would love to. At some point, you got to sing to me again. That was so profound. I loved it. You know, in the old days, you got a name. You got a name as part of a tribe, and they would, anytime you didn't feel good, they would sing you your name back. So I want you guys to think about your superpower name right now.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hello, I'm Glenn Brooks for the Vibrant Living Network, Vibrant Medicine Series, Kimchi Moyer, Food Decoder Susie, best happy birthday singer I've encountered in years, Jennifer Alvarez, who's also known as Stephanie Alvarez on the air, unless I forget, in which case I'll probably call her Jennifer. So we're talking to Kimchi Moyer, who's I just wanted to make that obvious and apparent. Sometimes I say something, people, they don't get weirded out. I guess sometimes getting weirded out is a very good thing. Being free from the known. So here's the thing. Imagine if you could go to someone, who's a resopath, go to someone and help you to become aware of what your body's already saying. The stories that I hear, Kimchi, and I think the book title could be, is your body's talking to you, pay attention. Tell us maybe a story's in order here. So for 30 years, based on your background of Asian medicine and nutrition, you've been an inquirer, you've been a practitioner. Let's sit down with you in your office, and let's have a story here that could really paint this, because it's a little different, or maybe even unusual. Share with people.
So I started out. Maybe I could share with you about my journey and how I get here. I was raised in Vietnam. I was raised two different cultures, Vietnamese and French. And so in 1975, when the war ended in Vietnam, I had to leave the country along with my parents. And at that moment, as we leave the country on the boat with the family and with other people, I get to witness what's going on. A lot of fear. I got to see desperation. And then during the 3 days we were in the ocean, I get to witness humanity at its worst. Everyone was desperate, crying, and to the point that they were demanded to return to Vietnam because they don't know what the future would be like in the ocean in the next few days. Then when I arrived in this country to the U.S., I get to work with the refugees for a couple of years and managing like 14,000 refugees a month. So I get to hear all kinds of stories. I get to hear stories from children who described us what's going on in the ocean, and I get to hear stories from the elderly and describing, to me, they have lost their family, everything. So I got to see what's going on, and I wanted to do something. So that put me in the path of medicine. What can I do to alleviate some suffering? So the long story short, I enter acupuncture school and learning, how to, what can I do to help people. And the acupuncture school allowed me to understand the philosophy of the universe. Everything has to do with energy flow, yin and yang, and so on. But that was not enough for me. I still have a lot of questions. How does it work? And then in 1991, I got introduced to German biological medicine and German functional medicine. Now I got introduced to completely another way of thinking, even though the philosophy is still the same. Instead of talking about yin and yang, now they are talking about electrons and photons and neutrons. So why the Asians talk about how energy flow in the body through a system called a meridian, and you can access those vortex of energy called acupuncture point, and you can access it by using a metal which is conductive, and you can get the energy to flow, and therefore as energy flow, you start to feel better, and pain starts to disappear. The Germans begin to say, well, if there's such a thing, we could measure that the energy flow of the vortex of energy must be more conductive than the acupuncture point. So with a German mind, they begin to take out their machine and begin to measure that. And sure enough, they find that where the Chinese call the acupuncture point, it's more conductive than the non-acupuncture point. So fast forward to where we are today. I was introduced to the technology in 1991, got fascinated with that, and with detective mind, because I wanted to become a detective as a kid. I loved sitting down and begin to figure out all the little puzzles and how to solve them. And I have an interest in helping people to feel better because I just didn't understand why humans suffer so much. So I started to put the passion to help, wanting to help people, and the technology together. So what I discovered is that when as we introduce a substance into circuit with the body, there is a shift when you measure the conductivity of a point. So I would measure a point, right? A person is connected, and the person would hold on to a piece of metal, the hand electrode. And when you measure a point, when you measure you introduce a substance, if that substance increase the conductivity, increase the flow, then I record that data. Or if that substance decreases the flow or decreases the conductivity, I also record the data. And that's all I do. I just record the data. As I record the data, over time...
I want to do something. I want to do something here that I think will help the audience. Let me give this a shot. What I want to do is I want to see if Susie, the food decoder, could step in your office for a second. Susie, would you walk into Kimchi's office for a moment, please?
I would.
Watch out for the doormat. It's got some anyway, step over her doormat. So what I'm curious about, I've actually seen this. I've seen some biological testing before. But what I'm curious about from you, Susie, is what comes to your mind? Like, is it clear to you what Kimchi does, or what are you curious about? If you're sitting down in her office right now, which you are, talk to her as her client from what she just said, because she just spoke to you. She's introducing you to you. What did you get so far, and what didn't you get? What are you curious about? Talk to Kimchi.
Again, I'm totally amazed that she can read what your body needs because, in general, you usually have some sort of message from your body when things aren't going right that you have to do something, but it'd be really great to figure out what it is before it happens. Maybe your liver and spleen and kidneys aren't working as well as they are, and somehow she has the ability to measure all of that and say, look, you need more, maybe you need more green leafy vegetables. Maybe you need this certain supplement. And boom, it fixes you right up. Yeah, that'd be great. So kimchi, yes, I do have.
So what are you curious? So what are you? Okay, yeah, okay. So kimchi, based on what Susie just said, the food decoder. Did she hear you? Does that make sense? What she reported back, is that accurate to what happened? Is there accuracy in what she just said?
Yes, she getting the gist of it, and I could explain this. So Susie coming into my office, and I'm going to say, okay, please hold on to this hand electrode. Now you are connected to the body.
Oh, no. Hold on. So now 1 second. Kimchi, okay. So Susie, speak. If you don't understand anything Kimchi's saying or you're curious, ask her. So you guys are in the office together. We're in the backdrop. So again, I'm sorry. I apologize. Please continue, Kimchi.
Yes. Yeah. So do I have electrodes in my hands and my feet, or are you going to scan me? What happens next?
Okay, so you just hold on. So please hold on to this hand electrode, and that's all you need to do. And you don't need to squeeze it hard or tight. You just hold on to that, and give me your other hand, and I would touch your finger with a probe, and you can see as I touch it, you would see the change in the conductivity. You can see right on the meter there is the needle begin to move. So you are alive with electricity, and that could be measured. So now you are in the circuit, right?
Would I see a picture of the body skeletal system, and then you can see like points on it that are glowing? Is that kind of what I would see? Or am I not facing what you're looking at?
Yeah, so there's a meter from 0 to 100, and you would see how the needle moves, right? And I told you that's what you would see, and you would hear the needle moves. You would hear the sound. You would hear how the sound change, and then you would see me put in different substance. Could be the food that you bring. It could be a vitamin that you bring, and I would put that into circuit with the body in the device. Right, and then I would remeasure to see does this substance I insert into the circuit with your body in the device connected to you, would it shift? Would it shift the reading? Would it shift the conductivity? And you would hear the sound change. You would see the needle move, and that's what you would see. And how does it work? Well, let's go back to the basics. Planet Earth is a living organism. All living organisms vibrate. So whether it's an animal, it's a plant, a human, including some minerals, we all have a frequency. We all put out a vibration, and that could be measured. So when we introduce, whether it's a substance from an animal, a plant, so on, we can put that into circuit with the body. We present it to the body, and let's see how your body reacts to it. If your body reacts to it, that means something. If your body doesn't react to it, that also means something, right? So it depends on what you react to. As it reacts, I can see the shift, and I record the data. The data collected and recorded in an organized manner will allow me to hear what your body is trying to say. Why would you get excited? For example, I could mention Mary, Gary, Bob, Glenn, and you get excited when you hear Glenn. Okay, I record the data, Glenn, and then I would mention.
Well, she's going to sing the birthday song. That's why.
And I break it down.
Right. So I can mention then.
Oh, okay. So I just want to identify to the audience. I'm just going to identify to the audience, listening to the Vibrant Living Network. We're having this wonderful discussion on vibrant medicine. Kim Shimari is a resopath, and Susie, the food decoder, is her client. And we're having a discussion about how Kim Shi would practice being a resopath, someone actually that listens to your body on the level of this system, your nervous system, the pulsations, and your vibrations. So, Susie, tell us what's happening. Are you catching? You asked a really good question, by the way. So, you asked how you would read this. What are you catching now? What do you? Give us some feedback. What are you curious about?
Okay. Well, I'm wondering. So, for instance, was it Stephen Hawking that created the vibration meter, and isn't 500 like the highest you can get to? So in my mind, I'm wondering, okay, let's assume my body's maybe not working as well, and maybe I'm at a 200, but in my soul and my spirit, I feel like I'm 1,000. So where would that put me? In my spiritual life, does that override my physical body, what you're picking up on? Or does that matter at all?
Measuring, okay, yeah, okay. So all I do.
Great question, by the way.
So all I do as a resopath is insert a substance, whatever the substance is, present it to the body, and then see is there a reaction, is there a resonance, and that's all I do, right? So I don't measure in terms of how many ohms or. I don't measure through that way, although there are systems that could measure that. I'm looking only for the information. Do you resonate with it or not? Once I get a yes, then I link it to another information. Do you also resonate with the next piece of information? The linking of these information allow me to hear the story of what's going on with you. So that's what I do.
Okay, so how about
no, go ahead, Susie. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought your question sparked me because I thought it was really brilliant, actually. Because I think some people are confused about what you brought up, and here's the confusion. What came to me is some people wonder, as an example, why certain people, spiritual people, or people who eat really well, like why they, could degenerate and get ill. And other people say, well, it's because, they need to do something different. It's kind of interesting. I thought that was an interesting question, that the question is, when she's measuring you, if I heard you correctly, that there's different ways to measure a person. Like you said, in your soul, you feel 1,000. Because so there's about a lot of people listening, they may feel 1,000 in their soul, but still have allergies. So that was an interesting question. I thought that was brilliant, Kimchi. I thought that was a good question that your client, Susie, the food decoder, asked. You're listening to the Vibrant Living Network with Kimchi Moore. We're doing the series on vibrant medicine. Imagine medicine being curative, educational, touching. Imagine your body is a tuning fork. And what Kimchi's doing is helping you kind of read and tune into it, along with Stephanie Alvarez. I didn't call her Jennifer. That's amazing. With the food decoder, who's in the office right now, we're kind of getting a sense of what is this medicine that Kimchi practices that helps people in many ways where they haven't been assisted before. So we're hearing that it's individualistic, it's unique as your fingerprint, and you're listening to what your body's actually saying. And Kimchi has a meter that she can read this, and you're holding these little. Who would you call them again, Kimchi? What are you holding to? What is Susie holding?
Yeah, she is holding on a hand electrode.
Okay.
That is made out of a silver on the outside, because silver is being conductive.
Right.
So hold on to that.
Right.
And then the hand electrode is connected to a biofeedback device that allow you to use different substances.
Are you comfortable, Susie? Or do you feel comfortable with the process? Are you anxious? Are you calm? Like what's your feeling when you're in this? Are you like some people will be like maybe they get a little scared, they're going to get a diagnosis. Like what's your feeling right now as you're sitting with Kimchi, as you're in this little bit of a pretend office situation?
I'm totally calm because I trust Kimchi, and whatever's going to happen is only going to benefit me. Wait. So my question
I love my birthday singer.
Is that right?
Okay, we're gonna come right back to your question. People know Susie by two names now: the food decoder and my blessed birthday singer. So your prize precious. Enjoy it. Stay with us for the Vibrant Living Network. More for Vibrant Medicine.
Feed your soul with waves of consciousness on OMTimes Radio.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
More than 24 million Americans have an autoimmune disorder, and that number continues to grow. I'm Sharon Saylor, and I'm one of those 24 million. To put that number in perspective, cancer affects about 9 million and heart disease up to 22 million. That's why I've brought together top experts and those thriving regardless of their diagnosis to bring you the latest, most up-to-date information. Join me, Sharon Saylor, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the Autoimmune Hour on Life Interrupted Radio to find out how to live your life uninterrupted.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Your life's precious. Enjoy it. You probably don't have enough information to be pessimistic. That's another whole way of living. This is our Vibrant Medicine series with my co-host Kimchi Moore. She practices. She's a resopath. Susie, the phone decoder. Also, I'm dubbing Susie my favorite blessed birthday singer because she sings my birthday vibe so well. Thank you, Susie. Stephanie Alvarez is sometimes after 6 o'clock becomes Jennifer Alvarez sometimes. We're talking with... So you were just about to ask a question. What I got to do, Susie, because I totally forgot, I got to make a very relevant acknowledgement that Regulat is our underwriter Regulat won our Real Food Supplement Award. It's a whole food supplement that feeds and nourishes the whole body. It's also a natural deep probiotic. It's something, Kimchi, go ahead and say something about Regulat because you use Regulat. So go ahead.
Yes,
you're like the insider here. Go ahead.
Yes, I'll be more than happy to. And in fact, I was going to jump in into, even if you don't ask me to do this, is that I have tested many products, of course. People rolling suitcases of supplements for me to sort through to see which one can help people and which one will make them feel better. And there are tons of probiotics out there and prebiotics and all types of supplements to help the gut. And I do have to say, yes, there are many great supplements out there. Regulat does come in my testing, in my resopacific testing, regularly as a great supplement to help with dysbiosis, which means disturbance in your gut, whether it is in your small or large intestine. The Regulat can help your bowel movement. Regulat can help decrease fermentation in the body. Regulat can help upgrade your microbiome in the gut. It has come up quite a bit in all type of cases and conditions. So it does. If you are constipated, I have seen that help people with their bowel movement, works really well. It is a little bit sour to taste, but I love that taste. It's kind of a little bit like vinegary. So some people do, for example, like these apple cider vinegar. It's kind of like that, but I really enjoy the taste. And usually what I see what works really well is about 20 milliliters. In general, that's what I've seen. It tested well for most people around that. Like 1 to twice a day. Some people can do even more, 3 times a day. But if you just begin, you're not sure, just start with 10 milliliters. It comes with a cup, a plastic cup that you can measure. So just start with 10 if you're not sure. And then increase it to like 20 mil, once a day, twice a day. And if you start to feel like you start to have quite a bit of bowel movement, then you may want to take a break. But I love that product. It's an amazing product.
Go ahead and give the website, Stephanie. I'm not going to call you Jenna for a moment. Give me thank you, by the way, Kimchi. That was beautiful. I need to say that Kimchi is a new World Health visionary, and that this series on vibrant medicine is going to stretch and blow your minds. I'm going to share something after Stephanie. Go ahead and give out the website. I want to share something with the audience that's going to blow their minds, stretch their minds.
Regulat, REGULAT-USA.com. Regulat-USA.com. They can also be found on Facebook and other social media channels, REGULAT, Regulat-USA.com.
I just want to share something that Stephanie did this last Halloween that you guys could do next Halloween. Stephanie has this beautiful little girl, and she says, this Halloween I don't want you getting filled with sugar. So when you knock on the door, instead of saying trick or treat, I want you to say Regulat, so they give you something healthy. That was a really breakthrough idea for Stephanie. Here we are doing the show, Susie, and we're talking about, Kimchi being, and you're in the office there, you're going to ask this brilliant question, which I apologize for not getting right back to. And on the newsstands of one of the largest magazines this month, Outside Magazine, this month, the feature issue, just to bring this home to you guys, the feature issue is they grabbed the 7th or 8th most incredible outside athletes in the world. You know what they asked them to do? Anybody want to guess what they asked them to do? It's a health thing. All right. I thought Stephanie would have buzzed in for the $100 bonus. What they asked them to do is bring their feces in. It wasn't a party or a potluck. It was a specific lab test. And what they did is they overviewed each of these world-class athletes, their feces, the bacteria, raising the question, should we be taking a custom probiotic? Here's the thing, Kim, you've been doing this 30 years. The big question in the article is, what does it mean, the person's inner terrain? Could we totally transform someone's life by changing the probiotic, and does it make sense to customize it? And also, each world-class athlete had a very different inner terrain. But the whole article was like, what does this mean? Like the guy who lived on a farm, if you go to this issue, it shows you the different bacteria Like, for instance, some of these bacteria, it means you're going to be less prone to depression. You're going to be less prone to certain diseases. Kimchi's already practiced this at a bigger level. You should have been in the article, by the way, Kimchi. So I want to tell you, the Outside Magazine, the article on these world-class athletes, what is the internet talent saying about them, and should we dietarily make this customized? You're doing that. You're customizing and listening. Susie, you're sitting there in the office, the food decoder. What was the last question you had? I apologize. I hope you still have it.
Yes, I do. I hope it's relevant, but I'm going to say, okay, I make this really wonderful carrot cake with cinnamon frosting. And yes, it doesn't have soy and dairy and eggs, all those things. I personally love it. When I eat it, I feel fantastic. I love it. And although everybody talks about how bad sugar is and all these things, I would want to know, Kimchi, assuming I had the cupcake in my hand, what would happen? You know, would it come out and say, what if it says it's bad for you? I'd be horrified. So anyway, that's the kind of things he does, right? And I know Kimchi wanted me to send you some stuff that I make. So what happens in that case?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what happens in that case, like I said, let's say I have it, you test it, they say the test either comes out, it's great, keep doing it, or the test comes out, not so great, and I hate to get rid of it. What do you tell the people?
Okay, I'll be more
I'm
than
enjoying
happy
the question.
to answer that question. Yeah, and this is not the first time that question has been brought up. People brought me wine, the best wine in the world, there's vodka, their cookies, everything, and they're gluten-free and all the healthy stuff. And this is what I could say on behalf of the body. And what happened when you test and when you present these products to the body? The body will respond. Does it enhance my the quality of my existence? Would it make me feel good? Does it increase my energy level? Is that going to congest me in some way? So those are the questions I pose to the body by making these measurements and let it come back. If in some system, a strong system, you have a lot of enzymes in the body, and the body could absorb things, and you're not having any type of inflammation, the body says, yeah, I can handle a cake, I can have a cookie, I may even handle a glass of wine, even maybe a little shot of tequila, because I'm doing well, my immune system is good, no problem. Now, if you come in and you're having a cold already, and you're constipated, and you have many other issues, you're in pain, and you're having rheumatoid arthritis, you present to the body says, whoa. In fact, I'm going to get worse the next day. You could enjoy it, but you may be even in more pain and feeling more inflamed for the next few days to a week. So the body would respond in terms of what would it do to the quality of life of the body, right? And so that's all I do. I'm just giving back that information. I have no judgment whether it's a cake, a gluten-free product, a glass of wine. It doesn't matter. I'm in neutral position, and all I do is I get that information, present it back to you, say, yes, you can have that cigarette, yes, but you know what? Your lung will get worse in 2 days because of that. So another people say, well, Kimchi, I really like to get out tonight. It's my birthday. You know, can I do that night? And I say, okay, let's put that in and let's see, can we add something in? Can we add in an enzyme? Can we add in something to make you more alkaline? And therefore you can tolerate that glass of wine today or that carrot cake today, right? So you can look for a way to balance it. Or the body says, no way, please don't touch it, forget it. Let's just take a break for a few weeks, then maybe you want to, you have room to enjoy that carrot cake or that glass of wine again. So I just present this information in an objective way, and by getting this information from the body and give it to you, and it doesn't matter if it's a great cake or it's a cookie and even supplements. Some supplements you say, wow, this is amazing, all the vitamin C's and these and everything, but the body say, hey, I have enough of it. I don't need it anymore, right? So it doesn't matter what substance. It's really a question of does it enhance the quality of your being on that day or that week.
So really,
you know what you should do, right?
Oh, go ahead. Just
By the
one
way,
last thing.
you're the most amazing. You're the most amazing client that she's had. Let me just do the Susie. I'm just going to do an ID thing here. It's a very professional thing here. So Vibrant Living Network. Go ahead, Kimchi. Give out for those people. You're so curious about Vibrant Medicine and about a personalized program. You want to go to Kimchi's website. I want to give it to you, so I want you to get your pen. So go ahead, Kimchi. Give out your website for your work and the wonder of what you do. How can people learn more?
They can go on to rezopathy.com. Rezopathy, RESOPATHY. Rezopathy.com.
Beautiful. And then, okay, so Susie's an extraordinary chef, a cook, does that. She creates all kinds of meals. She's the food decoder. She helps people really discover what's in their food. It's often not listed. It's her mission. She's also, we found out today, she's a sacred birthday singer. She blesses you on your birthday by singing to you, which I hope we'll get a little bit more at the end. It is my birthday, and Susie just blew me away at the beginning of the show. What's your website, Susie, you want to share with people? The Food Decoder.
It's called The Food Decoder, thefooddecoder.com. And my email right now is thefooddecoder@gmail.com. So if you have any questions about any strange words in whatever you're eating, let's say you're buying a cupcake and so on and so forth, just email me and I can decode what in the world you're eating. We don't want you to eat battery acid and formaldehyde and other toxic things that you don't probably know are in your food, potentially.
I loved your last. I love what happened with you and Kimchi just then, because I thought Kimchi was going to say to you, "Well, go and eat the cupcake, but put a paper bag over your head and cut holes for the eyes." But she didn't. She gave you this really broad answer that says which is as unique as resiopathy is. And she kind of said, "Well, you could enhance, you could strengthen your immune system." It wasn't a black or white answer like you're a bad person, because you eat cupcakes.
Right.
Back to you, Susie. How was that answer for you? How was her answer?
Yeah. I wanted to mention one thing, which was, well, this means that I'm going to be at Kimchi's office every day because I want to know what I can eat, what I'm going to eat, what's the most optimal I can be. Because, of course, she's, with her information, actually will fix you so that at one point you can eat the cupcake and it won't bother you at all. In fact, maybe it even enhances your life. So I don't see why you don't have like streams and streams of clients knocking at your door, waiting to get in to see what they can change so that they can be at optimal health, optimal, vibrant living lifestyle. So there you go.
And one thing that I really, thank you, Suzanne, one thing I really like to clarify is that this health modality, rhizopathy, is a health modality. It's not a diagnosis. It's a health modality that allows us to access, to connect with the intelligence network of the body and allow the body to express itself, to have a voice, what it wants and what it needs. And that's all there is to rhizopathy, a way to connect with the intelligence of the body and let it express itself. Is that good for me today or not? Can I have this? And that's all there is. And there are days the body say, yeah, I'm doing well. You want to have a glass of wine and have that favorite cupcake? Yes, you can do it. It's no problem. And there are days the body say, whoa, you've been doing too many glasses of wine lately, too many carrot cake. How about take a break? How about increase a little bit enzyme? How about bring in something to alkalize your system? And then you can, go back and enjoy another glass of wine, another chocolate cookie, for example. So that's all there is. It's a modality to allow you.
Excuse me again. By the way, I just want to say I think you're really, really adding tremendous clarity to this breakthrough, to this brilliant system that brings big health to people. Resiopath. Kimchi is a resiopath, and this is our series on vibrant medicine. Imagine growing younger. Imagine letting your immune system be singing and healthy in a way it's never been. And imagine having your body tell the story of saying, hey, this is what I need, this is what's happening, I got to get hugged more, I got to eat maybe a little chocolate, but I'll eat my greens tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's a fine-tuning system in the same way that, if you had a thoroughbred, you are a thoroughbred. You're listening to the Vibrant Living Network, along with Stephanie Alvarez, who actually was taking notes on the idea of next Halloween. Her daughter would say, I'm not trick-or-treating, I'm asking for Regulat. And I think that's going to spread a tremendous idea virus about teaching children to ask for something healthy, by the way, Stephanie. If you're interested, by the way, in being a vibrant speaker and letting your full message come through you in a way that you probably didn't learn in school, you probably didn't learn from your relatives, and to be around other people who want to sing the fullness and depth of their message, because sometimes it takes an environment to have that kind of thing happen. Or as Deepak Chopra would say to me, we grow old and die because we see others grow old and die. But imagine if we grow young and awake because there are other people who are singing our songs together with us. If you're interested in being a host and having a one-of-a-kind education and being a vibrant speaker, or you want to get a chapter from my book, maybe that was it. I don't believe it. 413-345-3747. 413-345-3747. Listen to our show next week. We'll continue with Kim Shimura, Resopath, Stephanie Alvarez, and, of course, the Food Decoder. I love so much. Thank you for your birthday song, Susie.
Awesome.
Life's precious. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, Kim. You're a sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you.